Alright, alright, alright. Got me a nice comfy chair. And I got the storm behind me. Yeah, so we're just gonna chill out on the front porch and read the Tibetan Book of the Dead. And we are on the prayers. And let me see. And we need to read the bottom of the page of what we were reading before. Excuse me. But I feel comfortable. I don't care. Oh shoot, you're on somewhere for 5 hours. What do you expect? Going in and out. Tibetan index 208. So we have one more page to go. After this one here, fighting myself with mail, which is better, and we only got to read the bottom of that, hunger and thirst. Oops, let me get that. That's my paper flying everywhere because the wind is blowing. Let me pick up this thing here. They blew over. So let me see how this works out, because I don't know how this is going to be. I might have to put you like that. No, not quite. I might have to get another chair. Yeah, I have to get another chair. Darn it. Hang on right quick. Hang on. It's a pretty day. It's a real pretty day today. Whoa. Ow! My goodness, that's low. Can't get comfortable. Hang on. I gotta be comfortable, man. Got to be. Got to be. Sorry, I just came out rushing out here. I figured I had time anyway. There we go. All right. Got that. Now you just get this. Sorry. Taking you for a ride there. But the chair's broken. There. I'm trying to do this sideways too. There we go. Now we can chill together. I can lay with you guys now. Heck yeah, this is comfy. Look at that sky. What do you think about that? Getting ready to storm its butt off. Look at that. Yeah. I could turn it Here you see. Hey, there we go. Beautiful sky. Beautiful, just beautiful. Now let's hope it don't soak me. So I'm just gonna chill and wait. My name is Nunya. Welcome to your channel. I created this channel. It's my own creation because it's all the creation I can do right now. And it fits me because I like to help. And what better way than to welcome everybody to your new life and to the life beyond. I mean, that's awesome that I get to do this. And I think it's wonderful that I was called to do this and that I am a welcomer. It fits me perfectly. I'm a jack of all trades. I'm not embarrassed about the way I look or the way I act. I don't care. You do what you do, and I do what I do. And I've always been that way, always. Didn't skip a beat. So I think I learned my lesson in other lifetimes to be able to be here today to help guide you through the process. And most of the ways that helped me through this process was writing and more writing. And to read after that. After I wrote and got familiar with everything and kind of got, to where I knew what I should be studying, because your know kind of tells you, what you should be studying. Little things like finding books from passed on people in your lives. This was my neighbor's book, and they were only neighbors for about not even almost a year, and they left this to me and my man. And my man already had the Tao. He's always had that, and I'm Tai Chi. I'm a healer. I didn't know that. Whenever I practiced it, I knew how to do it. And I knew that something more existed, and so whenever I woke up and I was called, I directed myself directly here to help you, because it's so hard out there trying to find your own help and trying to find other things outside of this community, because you want to correct people in their ways, so that they don't resonate it onto you, family members, people that you run across in everyday lives. And actually, I just seen a video of Anya talking about that this morning, I think it was, or last night. Yeah, last night. I seen Anya talking about something like that. They were having a powwow about it, and they had a few suggestions of their own. But the way I always handled it was, you do what you do, and I do what I do. And, wherever the chips may lie is wherever the chips may lie. And that's all the help I can really give you, and you're in this kind of alone. But that was one of the things about this community, is that you're not alone. There's people out there that will help you, through your analytical stuff. You can help you through your analytical stuff. You can record yourself and go over it like I'm doing. I just decided to make mine public because I thought that in the future, I knew that these would be coming in handy, and now I know the reason why. Because future generations are going to need these things, this knowledge, that's going to be taken away from them, and it's going to be hard for them to find. Go watch Global Witness, the virus, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. And they're doing things like that all the time. There's like little things. But if you do your research, you'll be able to see those things. And it's not right. And you tend to wonder, why they're doing them. And then you come to find out why they're doing them. It's because they have powers too. And you always known this. You always known that there's been bad things around you, like bad karma. Why? Why is bad karma there? Because of bad energy. There's good energy and there's bad energy. You could take one or you could take the other. It's not both. One or the other. And it's work. It's a process. Take it slow. Do one thing at a time, and you'll do just fine. Because you know your pace. Like I know my pace. I know where I'm at. And this, I kind of, not all the way. I don't know where I'm at in it all the way. got to be at a really high level in order to understand that. But yeah, and I hope that everybody can hear me. I know that there's a lot of traffic. Let me pull you closer. There we go. So anyway, that is that. And I just kind of wanted to waste a little bit of time waiting to see if anybody was going to pop in on me because of the title. Because I don't know, I'm a weirdo. I name things differently than everybody else. And people seem to be interested in that, so they come check it out. And I like to, let them know what's going on. And too, there's a couple people that was listening before and they may want to jump in here. They could be checking out all these new channels out too and doing what they're supposed to do, and that's find themselves. I can sit here and read this book all day. It's just an introduction for you, of what a taste of the Tibetan looks like and feels like and sounds like to you. Does it resonate with you? Is that your reality? It's my reality. Is it your reality? That's the question, for you. Because only you know that, not me, not anybody else. Only you know that. You got to go in it alone. Now the analytical stuff, you can record yourself. You can record yourself and listen to yourself and question yourself. You can do it. It is possible. And you can try to find outside help in your community. There's places like the Center of the Divine Love. It's a center that has this stuff. Now you got to deal with people, and you got to trust in people. That's the big issue, is trust. Would you trust that person? Do you trust them with your info? This is why if I'm going to lay it out there, then I want everybody to learn off of it, not just one person. You may as well just put it out there. I mean, if you're putting it out there for one person, then you may as well put it out there for all. And that's just the way I feel about it. And you got to be truthful with yourself and everyone around you along the way, because it leads to negative vibes. And whenever negative vibes hits, then it bounces around in your bubble, and you go boop, 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 negative, 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 and then you're trying to do positive, and it's uneven because there's more people coming in with negative, more people coming in with positive, negative, 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 because the world is full of negative right now. It is so bad, Everybody's carrying that negativity around. Everybody's sick of it. They're sick of it. They're sick of it. And I suggest those people wake up. Wake up, and you're in a trap. You are in a trap, and you are failing miserably right about now. Wake up. Other than that, I'm a saver. I like to save people. I like to plant my seed. I like to wake people up. People I cherish, people I love, anybody close to me, I'll wake their butt up. I won't stop in front of them. This is everything to me. Everything. And that's the way you gotta make it. Because it's either or. There is no and. There's either or. No and. You can't do both. You gotta do one or the other. And it all depends on if you want to be negative or positive. That's just the way it goes. So we will get started. It's been about 14, we'll start at 15. I'll just get ready for somebody to come in. And I'll just be here in case somebody comes in and wants to be welcomed. Oh. So I'm just going to wait a couple minutes. I'm trying to think of something to talk about. Give me a minute here, I think. So the Tibetan Book of the Dead, it's going to be a long one, and I'm going to have to study it, and I just thought I'd, make a syllabus out of it and have a class about it, and teach it instead of reading it. So that's where I'm at with my idea on it, but I'm going to finish out the Tibetan Book of the Dead part of it. That way I can get some kind of flavor for it. and then go back and then try to make a syllabus out of it, and like read it again and then try to make a syllabus out of it. That way we can learn it, because it goes off into avenues, man, and it is deep. There's passages and there's pathways, and you got to know your way whenever you're dealing with that. You can't just go and it's saying it's a pathway, and that this is how you learn the pathway of it. So yeah, I want to take it seriously and learn these pathways to what I'm looking for. Just like you're looking for something, and that will be your own. Oops, I'll be right back. There's a bucket flying everywhere. Flew off the porch. It flew off the porch. Give me one moment. Yeah, it was flying all over there. Yeah, but it was talking about pathways and all that. I'm just going to let you look at the sky for a minute while I get situated. Boy, this sky is beautiful. I'll tell you what. What a beautiful sky. I can't believe how beautiful it is. Okay, here we go. Oops, I almost lost a page there where I was at before the appendix at the Bordeaux of Death part. It tells about that. I almost lost my bookmark because it's so small. Okay, here we go. Hang on a minute, daydreaming. Kind of meditating, actually. I like looking at the clouds. It's a form of meditation. Clears your mind, collects your thoughts, and puts them in order so that you're able to clear a big space out for more information. So let me do that for a minute. Get settled, get relaxed. I'll keep looking over to see, and I'll just keep talking for a few minutes. I'm sorry, but I have to. I came rushing out here, and I'm just really excited about the book, I just want to take a moment to settle down, kind of like a kid in a candy store kind of thing. I can't wait to get my hands in there, kind of feel. But it's just so pretty, too. They form like images, and it helps you like clear everything. Hey, welcome. Who's there? You don't have to say anything if you don't want to. I understand. My name is Nunya. I'm reading the Book of the Dead. Tibetan Book of the Dead. And right now I'm just clearing out my thoughts, looking at the sky and storming, getting ready to storm. Just thought it was pretty. Too, talking how it kind of clears your thoughts and centers them from, puts them in order so that it's not all, like my room looks with all the paper strewn everywhere, like, books everywhere, because I'm just fretting from one thing to the other. So it kind of clears that out in my head so that I'm able to, retain more information in there. And to get rid of that aggravation that I just had when I rolled my eye just now. From the little doggy barking, Here. That's nature. I shouldn't be doing that, right? But that's the whole thing, is that you catch yourself like that too. And it helps with that positive energy whenever you catch yourself and you see it for what it is. You kind of put yourself into place. So I'm just going to sit here and look at the clouds for a minute and keep talking. Clear them all ugly thoughts out. Organize them for them, Let my barrier go out too. My radiance, so that it gets quiet. And everything else around me kind of obeys with me and not with it. Hi, it's Sherry. Hi, Cherry. Yeah, it's Cherry. Go ahead, enjoy. Oh, I will. Always do. Always do. Some guy's playing with his dog over here in the yard. It's cute. I would show you, but, it's private, privacy. I don't want nobody knowing where I live. Coming to get me. Some Holly weirdo. Holly weird. Sorry, I had to say it again. So I am on the prayer for protection here. And I guess you can't see it. You wouldn't be able to see it anyhow. It's backwards. And there's this little text on the bottom, and this is what I wanted to show you. As soon as I get that bookmark out of the way. It's down there on the bottom. It's really, 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 really small writing. So it's kind of like a conjuncture of the story that's being said. And hang on one moment, I guess somebody needs me. Well.
Hey, there's all kinds of food in the fridge.
All right.
Meat and there's some chicken salad stuff to make sandwiches out of.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Don't
Hey,
move from
when you
there.
get a chance, can you pull them frozen peppers out of the freezer that you were talking about?
Oh, you just put them in, you just steam them. Or boil them, whatever you want.
Yeah, I don't know where. Can you pull them out?
Yeah, I can pull them out.
Appreciate it.
All right. So we're on that part, and there's this little part down at the bottom. So I'm pretty much done. Let me see. When it comes, detain them with a number of hours. I don't think I went on the other side. There, the last page. I was on the last page, but on this page there's this little writing. That's where I'm at. And I just have one more page to go for the, let's see, what did they call it? The Bardo of Moments of Death. So it's kind of saying that this is what, these are some of the suggested procedures whenever someone passes over. And I read, you can go back and watch the video, it's very moving, the verse for the very first one. Very powerful stuff, I do gotta say. I mean, I was crying after the 7th time of reading it. because it said that you're supposed to say it 7 times, and we all know it's coming. So I just wanted to put it out there for people, you know, because everybody has their time. And if they want to learn it, they could just put on their headphones and listen to it, you know, and it's a good way to learn something, I think. Because you can also have the book, you can get the book from the library. It's basically at your central library, so you have to order it to your local library. Oops. And then they'll deliver it to your local library for you, and then you go pick it up from your local library instead of having to go all the way downtown to, you know, Central Library. Which is kind of nice that they do that. You can also get audiobooks from the library. But I like reading my own and, you know, recording it because it suits the purpose here of what the community is trying to do. I just got the Tibetan Book of the Living and Dying. Really, that's cool. You should read and put it up and have people come and listen. I forgot what my next book is going to be. Darn it. I think I said yoga because I did the Tao. And that was easy. That was really easy. That one, even kids can learn that one. That one's really good. Then there's this one, which is way more complicated because it's more like a course than anything else. It's not like a huge course, but it's a course. And that's huge because it goes out in veins, you know, like the information spreads out into the appendix, and you got to stop and go to the appendix and read that, like I'm doing right now. Hey, whoever the second wheel is, my name is Nanya. Welcome to your channel. I created this channel just for everyone in this community that happens to hop in. I've been picking people out, people who I think shine, and I could be deceived by that. Not really deceived, but kind of antsy with it, I guess you could say, because I depended on somebody else to do their job and kind of just pluck people out of Positive Movements channel there because I seen her as a welcomer like myself, to kind of like, we're not fluent in anything right now, in any of this, we're still learning kind of thing, you know, and we're just taking you along for the dang ride, you know, the horrifying part of things. Because if you look at the back video, the last, I think it was like the second or the third, where I got into the prayer for the dead, got really emotional. After reading it 7 times, I threw up. I mean, it really lifted me out of my, you know, and kind of helped center me in that too. So every time I read something, it brings me closer of where I'm supposed to be, the truth about something. And whenever I say throw up, I'm saying, you know, for people who are concerned about that, what I think that is, because it's different, it feels different, and it is different. It's like a spit, you know, like you're spitting like a big goober, and yeah, you're just like expelling all the BS that you were told, and you're retaining in this new information almost. Because at first I thought I was going to spew out black goo like I seen on the conspiracy theories. I was really concerned at first. Not scared at all, just concerned, you know, kind of like, what is this kind of thing. And I asked around and nobody knew, but I'm kind of figuring things out for myself, and, you know, I'm pretty wised up to this stuff. I mean, it's all pretty much coming really fast. Like once you start and once you go to that positive place again. Have you read Franz Barden's Initiation into Hemetech? Actually, I ordered the Hermetic from the library. Yeah, that was the next book. I got to go pick it up pretty soon here. Thanks for reminding me, because I need to check and see if it's there yet. I ordered it before and they sent it back on me. That's the negative playing its toll. And I reordered it, so it should be back here. And I'll read that one next. That's going to be my next one. That is going to be my next one because of Wayne Steiger. He was reading that, and that got me interested in it. It's sung with me. It resonated. So I'm going to follow that resonation and dive into it. But I didn't want to watch him read. I like the book. There's something magical about pages. And I won't read it. I'll just read along with it, kind of thing. Verify. Because to me, verifying is everything. I think that's why I like doing things myself all the time. Is because I know what I'm reading. And I know what I'm feeling. And I know what I'm doing. I have faith in my know. In other words, I guess I'm trying to say. So I'm going to get into it, and I'm just going to read this subtext, I think they call it. I don't know. I'm not smart. I'm just doing what I need to do. So bear with me. I have trouble with some of these words, and some of them are tongue tires, where it's really hard to say them all in a row. And I tend to have problems with that one. So getting ready to read the whole darn thing over again. Hunger and thirst. Actually, I'll just go ahead and read this page over again. I need to anyway, because usually whenever I leave and I come back, I like to read the last thing that I read anyway. So, prayer for protection. This is like another half of that. There's another page and a half of it. When desired to... Let me get closer because of traffic. When destined to suffering from intense misery of hunger and thirst, let it come that I experience no pangs of hunger and thirst, heat and cold. When I behold the future parents in union, let it come. Let it behold them as the divine pair. Can you hear me all right? With that traffic, or do I need to bring you closer? Okay, I'm gonna lean back then. All right. When destined to suffering from intense miseries of hunger and thirst, let it come, that I experience not the pangs of hunger and thirst, heat and cold. When I behold the future parents in union, let it come, that I behold them as the divine pair. The conquerors, the peaceful, and the wrathful father and mother, obtaining the power of being born anywhere for the good of others. Let it come that I attain the perfect body, adorned with the signs and the graces. Obtaining for myself the body of a male, which is the better. Let it come that I liberate all who see and hear me. Let not the evil karma to follow me. Let it come that whoever merits be mine. Follow me and be multiplied. 11. Whoever I be born, there and then, let it come that I meet the conquerors, the peaceful and the wrathful deities, being able to walk and talk as soon as I am born. Let it come that I obtain the non-forgotten intellect and remember my past life or lives. The prologue, the subtext down at the bottom. Hunger and thirst refer to the sufferings so tiny. Concomitant. I have no clue. Refer to the sufferings concomitant with assistance as a prela or unhappy ghost. Oh, they're talking about like spirits left here and haunting people. Heat and cold, the assistants and the hot and cold hells. Yeah. See, I always thought that was hell, like if somebody came back and they had to be stuck here in their house because they just can't let go to their possessions or things or people or whatever it may be. I always thought that would be hell. This refers to the body of a Buddha in which appears various subnormal signs and powers. This is a reference to the Buddha, who when born is said to have taken 56 steps, 7 forwards, and 7 backwards, in each of 4 cardinal directions, and have uttered a divine premonitory sentence at the end of each 14 steps. After the subnormal performance, he, like an ordinary babe, was unable to walk or talk, until normally old enough. In the Samgu Sutta Digha Nikaya and the Pali Canon of Southern Buddhism, there is the following explanation from the Buddha himself as to the non-forgetting and the forgetting of past incarnations. And I'm going to go ahead and keep reading the subtext to this because it's in colons. No, maybe I shouldn't. I'm going to go ahead and read the whole page and then continue with the subtext. Okay, here we go. In all the various lores, great, small, and intermediate, let it come that I be able to obtain mastery merely upon hearing, reflecting, and seeing. In whatever place I be born, let it be auspicious. Let it come that all sentient beings be endowed with happiness. 13. Ye conquerors, peaceful and wrathful in likeness to your bodies. Number of your followers, duration of your life period, limit of your realms. And in the likeness to the goodness of your divine name, let it come that I and others equal your very selves in all these. 14. Be divine. Let me check on you. Okay. Be divine, grace of the innumerable, all good, peaceful, and wrathful ones. It's now raining. And by the gifted waves of the holy pure reality, and by the gifted waves of the one point devotion of the mystic devotees, let it come that whoever be wished for a fulfilled here and now, the path of good wishes affording protection from fears in the bardo is finished. Woo! Good. Not quite, though, because I still need to do the subtext. Buddhism. I'm going to reread this just so I know where I'm at. Buddhism. There is the following explanation from the Buddha himself as the non-forgetting and the forgetting of past incarnations. There are 4 conditions of the entrance of the embryo into the womb. Brethren, in this world, one cometh unto existence, and one in the mother's womb, without knowing, remaineth in it without knowing, and cometh out from the mother's womb without knowing. This is the first. Brethren, one cometh into existence in the mother's womb, knowingly, remaineth in it without knowing, and cometh out from it without knowing, is the second. Brethren, one cometh into existence into the mother's womb knowingly, remaineth in its knowingly, and cometh out from it without knowing. This is the third. Brethren, in this world, one cometh into existence in the mother's womb knowingly, remaineth in its knowingly, and cometh out of the knowingly. This is fourth. CL, the method taught by the Buddha of remembering past lives, page 40 to 1. So I'm seeing page 40 to 1. And I'm just looking it over because I didn't really want to do the introduction first. I wanted to get directly into the dead and read it for myself and find out what it is first. Just introduce, not swell myself into it, because I'm liable to do that if I don't slow down and take it easy. And that'll be too overwhelming. I like to get introduced to it myself and then read and take what they have after. Just looking, scanning it over, trying to see if anything pops out, see if something I need to read, like filling it out. That's why I like books with pages and not a PD, because the books have pages of. You're gonna think I'm nuts, but whenever somebody resonates with something, I believe that they leave it. They leave that energy there. And if it worked for somebody else, then maybe it might work for me, so I'll give it a chance. So that's what I'm doing whenever I go through these pages, because it's been handled by other people, lots of other people. Especially somebody I kind of respected too. No, I hear you. It makes sense, says Cherry. And she's the only one in the chat right now, so anytime I'm chatting with somebody, it'd be her. Just in case I forget to say a name, while I'm running through the chat there. Yeah, nothing really resonates with me right now. It might pertain later, So I'm just gonna ignore it and just keep going and keep pushing through the Book of the Dead. And that's where I'm going back to now that I'm done with that appendix part. So I'm going back to the dead. And here we are. And I'm on the Bardo of Dying, part 1. I think. Yeah. Intermediate state, and third, the methods of closing the doors of the womb while the intermediate state when seeking birth. Part 1, the Bardo of moments of death. Instructions on the symptoms of death, or the first stage of the Chika Bardo, the primary clear light seen in the moment of death. The first, the setting face to face with the clear light during the intermediate state of the moments of death is, here, some there may be who have listened much to religious instructions, yet not recognized, and some who, though recognizing, are nevertheless weak in familiarity. That was me. But all classes of individuals who have received the practical teachings called guides will, if this be applied to them, be set face to face with the buff before. And I have it at 420, so it should be alright. It might be my phone that's been acting up, light, trying to put out the light, negative, trying to put out the light. If I'll go back on, I'll let it cool down for a minute and go back on. Cool? Cool. If you're wanting to listen. If not, feel free to explore your channels up in there. There's lots of people up there anxious to help you out. Real anxious. They come up like tarot card readers if you're interested in tarot, if that's your thing. Mine is healing with the hands, the Tai Chi. I didn't know that that's what it would be. I didn't know that that's what it was called before, Cherry. But I found out now it's called Tai Chi. And I feel so special about it too. I'm glad that I was right, You get to feeling like you're wrong. And that it could just be coincidence or something, after you get into that dark spot of, the real world. It's awfully pretty though. I'm gonna miss it whenever I leave. That's awesome. Alright. But yeah, this channel is your guys's now. I just been collecting channels and try to pile it in there. Everything that has to do with every sense that I see. Anything that resonates, to me. Anyone that resonates. That gift. And I should put up Jacksepticeye and Markiplier again. I really should. Because they are the gamers. And they do have it, I think. I'm almost positive they do. And there's the Outer Light guy. He's like the truth teller. I need to put all them people back up. I didn't want to because I didn't want the people going outside talking, to other people or trying to correct them outside of the community, because it's hard out there trying to correct people outside of the community. They get ignorant, they're negative people and they just don't understand what you're trying to do and they get all offensive and, then that no comes in, their no, the negative no, and it's just like, they'll come at you hard with insults or, try to put your light out. They'll come after you. I mean, completely come after you. They'll come to your channel, man, and try. I believe that. I never had it happen yet. I don't think, except for once with somebody that doesn't like me in the real world here, came. He's a masonry, and he disrupted a meditation session. I meditated and I was doing my analytics after that because I found that whenever I meditate, they say to write things and my hands were getting tired because I have carpal tunnel. So I had to work my way around the pain, and instead of writing everything down, recording it is really helping. If I think about the analytics, it's all about, answering your own questions. And then too, I got my posse here to help me, which is always cool. They're always questioning me too. Or they'll say something, that pops out, and later on it'll make sense to me, because then I'll be reading something, and oh yeah, that's what they were trying to say. I forgot what it was earlier that I was doing on the last video, but something resonated that somebody said, and I forgot what it was now, because, a lot of thoughts in there. They're built up, and, I got a lot of questions. Got a lot of questions, man. I've been dealing with this my whole life with all these questions about it and never really been able to explore it. Life is life. You got kids and you try to live your life and you try to live it the good way. I did try to live it the good way. I'm pretty proud of that because there were some difficult moments in there. Real difficult moments. Really? Yeah, I think we're all of it. I think we had to die before we got here in some way. Because I've been talking to people and they were telling me how they had a near-death experience and then they happened to them. Or like me, they kind of like knew it all along and they've been living it all along. But then, you start to get down. And then somebody says something to you to wake you up, to it. But then you're like me, I'm a type of first person that needs to know the truth about things, like really needs to know the truth about everything at one time. So I was trying to do Jeff Doherty, and I figured that was BS anyway. I already knew everything that was in the Bible that he was talking about, because I always felt things were wrong. Like every time that I would do something like do unto others as you have done unto you, I wouldn't do that. I would do unto others as they would want done, not me. It's not me who wants it, so why am I doing what I want done? Stuff like that didn't make sense to me, and I lived a different way of the Bible, and I didn't know why, but now I know. I knew these things before, and I learned these things before. I learned this before. I know I have, because I'm here now, and I'm ready. I'm ready to learn it again, and to, ooh, a spider. Woo! Hang on a second, I gotta save the spider. Yeah, I'll just leave him alone. I'll be careful whenever I get up. I don't know if I heard him. He was in the book. He was right there in the book. Clear. Clear. The word clear. Primary clear light is where that spider was at. And I've been having nature cooperating with me in this thing too. That was that meditation session that negative came into. He made a cricket, or not he, but whatever it is that's, our maker, coincided with nature. And this cricket kept coming up to me on the floor, and I kept trying to tap to get him away, but he kept coming back. And I went to put my hand down so he could crawl on it, I was going to show people, hey, there's a cricket that keeps coming after me. He bit me. I never knew a cricket could bite. I knew a grasshopper bites, but I didn't know a cricket bit. And yeah, it bit me pretty good. Pinched, and it made me jump, it hurt that bad to make me jump, but it didn't hurt bad, it just hurt well enough to make me pull back, because it was pinching pretty hard. It's getting there. And then 30 seconds later, something started squawking outside, like really bad squawking. Everybody in chat room was like, what the heck is going on over there? This is getting good, stuff like that, because I could feel the negative coming at that point. Whenever I heard the squawks, I could feel the negative coming. And then all of a sudden I get back from the squawks, and it's outside, thank goodness, because I was thinking rabid possum is what my thoughts. Oh no, I'm good, don't worry, no worries. So I come back and I sit down with my audience, and I'm looking at my chat to see what they're saying, and I can't read nothing at all. Like everything's all jumbled. Like the top is at the bottom, and my mom said that she's seen the same thing on her end. She was watching, and then a moth came at me while I'm trying to check this stuff out. A moth was going and then all of a sudden it came really strong. That negative feeling came really, really, really strong. Because then I started clearing my head, what could this be? Because this is 3. It's always, anything that's 3 to me, I got to pay attention to at that point. I got to. There's something going on with that. It's always been 3 with me. So I did a banishing, because I cleared, because I just breathed for a moment so I could feel the energy around me. Because I feel inside of here too. Like I can feel people and feel them out. Feel if they're a guy or a girl, or what have you. I'm an empath, and that kind of helps me recognize people, but it doesn't always work, I get caught in the trap of people, the evil, the negative, they tend to, well, they're good liars and they're good manipulators. I can say that. You know, they're good at changing the aura colors. They're good at hiding the truth about things within themselves. And especially someone who is in the witchcraft industry, you know, they're very talented in the negative, very talented. And whenever that happens, you know, it's going to be done the negative for the person that they're attacking, and they can have it at a higher level than you, like me, you know, because I'm not familiar with all these incantations and banishing spells and all that. I'm an empath as well. Maybe that's the reason why you came, is because we're drawn together. I've been noticing that, you know, like, I can feel people through this and feel their light, and I don't know, I just been getting the sense that we all knew each other from before. Like everybody I'm picking, not everybody, but most everybody that comes here to this channel, it's like they're drawn here to me, and then whenever I feel them, it's kind of like I feel them and I pick them and I put them over here, but then there's others that I pick that don't have the light yet, or I just think that they ought to hear what I have to say, and I'll pick them and I'll bring them over. Or positive movements, you know, where I just grabbed them all and just brought them over, because heck with it. I didn't feel like checking everybody out. She had a lot of people in there and I had a lot to do and a lot of things going on here at home that were, you know, very bad days. And so yeah, I forgot what I was saying. But anyway, the meditation went over. I got rid of him, and that was that. And hopefully he stays gone. But he probably seen my light, because I was helping a lot of people out that night. And I was uplifted quite a few times through reading stuff. And it was just, you know, the meditation lifted me. It brought all that knowledge together and sorted it out in my brain so that it all made sense. And I was kind of uplifted by it, and it made me radiate even further. And it was bright, I guess, really bright, and he seen it, and he had to come over and put it out. He's a masonry, so you know how they are. You know, I don't know if all masonaries are like that, but I think that a lot of them are, if not all. Okay, so I'm going to get back to it. It was nice getting to know you for a moment. Which we can still do, you know. But I just wanted to say that in case you had to leave or something, you know. And I forget. I don't want to forget, so I just say it. Part 1. The Bardot and blah blah blah, the first setting. I was down here at the little print. What is that at? Did I see something out the corner of my eye? Yeah. You too. Thank you. Make sure you can't see the house behind me. It's so hard to be over that. I'm going to bring it in just a little bit closer. Just a little bit. Oh, I think I was going to read the prelude down at the bottom. Yeah, that's where I was at. The first Bardot is the Chique Bardot. The second is the Canyid Bardot. Chanyid Bardot. The third is the Sidpa Bardot. C85. I don't know. I don't see what they're talking about. No clue. I'm gonna keep moving on. As soon as this traffic goes by. I tell you what, I'm gonna fix this. I think this here. Whoa, I didn't want that. I think I can do this here. And you over here. Put you here. I hope nobody steps outside there. That's just as far. That's just as far. I'm gonna put you back. Hang on. Yeah, I may as well just leave it there. That way I don't have to worry about you falling. All right. The first Bardo is the Chaki Bardo. The second is the Kanyad Bardo. I think it's Chikay. The first Bardo is the Chikay Bardo. The second is the Chanyid Bardo. The third is the Sitpar Bardo. Text. Yargai sang Tao Chin Po. Yargai sang Tao Chin Po. The Great Straight Upward Path. One of the doctrines peculiar to Northern Buddhism is the spiritual emancipation, even Buddhahood, may be won instantaneously without entering upon the Buddha plane and without further suffering on the age-long pathway of the normal evolution, with traverse the various worlds of samsaric existence. The doctrine underlies the whole of the Bardo Vidal. Faith is the first step on the secret pathway. Then comes illumination, and with it, certainty. And when the goal is won, emancipation. But here again, success implies very unusual proficiency in yoga, as well as much accumulated merit or good karma on the part of the devotee. If the discipline can be made to see and the grasp of truth as soon as the Guru reveals it, that is to say, if he has the power to die consciously, and that the supreme moment of quitting the body can recognize the clear light, which will dawn upon him then and become one with it. All samsaric bonds of illusion are broken asunder immediately. The dreamer is awakened into reality simultaneously with mighty achievement of recognition. We're going to continue to read the Bardo of Dying, and then we'll go back to the prelude bottom. I think that's what you call it, I'm not sure, but small writing at the bottom. The manner of application is, it is best if the Guru from whom the deceased received guiding instructions can be had. But if the Guru cannot be guided, let me start that over, I messed up, went up a line. It is best if the Guru for whom the deceased received guiding instructions can be had. But if the Guru cannot be obtained, then a brother of faith, or if the latter is unattainable, then a learned man of the same faith, or should all these be unattainable, then a person who can read correctly and distinctively ought to read this many times over. Thereby the deceased will be put in mind of what he had previously heard on the setting face to face, and will at once come to recognize the fundamental light, and undoubtedly obtain liberation. As regards the time for the application of these instructions, when the expiration hath ceased, the vital force will have sunk into the nerve center of wisdom, and the knower will be experiencing the clear light of the neutral condition. Then the vital force being thrown backwards and flying downward through the right and left nerves, the intermediate state momentarily dawns. The above directions should be applied before the vital force hath rushed into the left nerve, after first having traversed the navel nerve center. The time ordinary necessarily for this motion of the vital force is as long as the inspiration is still present, or about the time required for eating a meal. Woo! Okay, so here's the prelude of that. Rereading: the dreamer is awakened into reality simultaneously with the mighty achievement of recognition. Here, as elsewhere in our text, nerve center, here, as elsewhere in our text, nerve center refers to a psychic nerve center. The psychic nerve center of wisdom is located in the heart. Woo-wee. Didn't know that. Nice to know. Sespa. Pronoun pronounced Shipa. Yeah, Shipa. Shipa. Mind, knower, i.e., the mind in its knowing, or one of those words that I forgot how it sounds. Cognizing functions. You get the drift. The mind in its knowing. It's the know, people. Cognizing, I don't know. Oh, okay. Tadal, and it's spelled, this is odd, S-P-R, ooh, I spit, S-P-R-O-S-B-R-A-L, pronounced T-O-D-A-L, take it whatever way you will. I say it's total. Yeah, it's total to me, because if you take the D, replace it with the T, that's total. So total. Yeah, total. Devoid of formative activity, the mind in its neutral or primal state. The mind, wait a minute. Let me reread that. I think I messed up. Devoid of formative activity, i.e., the mind in its natural or primal state. The mind in its unnatural state. That is to say, when incarnate in the human body is because of the driving force of the five senses, simultaneously in thought formation activity. It's natural or discarnate, dhyana, or deep meditation, when still united to the human body. The conscious the conscious recognition of clear light introduces a ecstatic condition of consciousness, such as saints and mystics of the West have called illumination. Deep. Text. Long air. Vital air. Or vital force. Or psychic force. Oh, she left and I wasn't looking. Oh no, I have to go. Enjoy your book, hon. Thanks for sharing. You have a great evening. We'll catch up with you later. Cool. Thank you, Cherry, for coming in. It's good connecting with you, and I hope you have a nice night. All right. Here we go into it once more. And actually, I'm going to read this, and I'm going to take a break. So we have the text of Risa Gaian, pronounced Yun, right and left, psychic nerves. Right psychic nerve, the Idenati, left psychic nerve. So we got the Sayin as the right, and the left is Idenese. Oh, no, wait a minute. No. Take that back. I'm reading this wrong. Take it back. Erase. Take it back. Just one sentence. Okay, so Sayin Yang is right and left psychic nerves. Pingala Nadi, I skipped that because I thought it was something else and I didn't feel like pronouncing it. Pingala Nadi is the right psychic nerve. And Idanods is the left psychic nerve. And that comes from page 215. And we'll go there real quick and see. 215. 215. This book smells old and cigarette-y. What was I doing? Oh, the psychic nerves. 215? Yeah. Tantrism. Tantricism. So I guess that's where that leads, is Transicism. And I'm not reading all of it. It just has to go to 215. I don't know exactly what it wants me to do. CF. And I don't see any CFs anywhere. And what am I supposed to be looking at? Lung. Pingala. The left, the right, anything? Anything? I don't see no, oh, there it is, there it is, there it is. Okay. So I'm just going to pick up the psychic nerves or channels. Synchnadi. Like the syncronym for that is Nadi. There are next mentioned in our text the psychic nerves. Sanskrit works on yoga say that there are 14 principles, Nadi, and hundreds of thousands of minor Nadi in the human body. Just as Western psychologists, Western psychologists, I don't know, say that there are so many chief nerves and minor nerves. But the Nadi of the East and the nerves of the West, although literally the same in name, and not synonymous. Are the same in name and not synonymous. Synonymous. The Nadi are invisible channels for the flow of psychic forces who conducted agents are the vital heirs. Let me reread that. The Nadi are invisible channels for the flow of psychic forces whose conducting agents are the vital heirs. Bayou. Of the 14 principles, Nadi are the 3 which are of fundamental importance. There are, to follow our text, the median nerve, Sushumna Nadi, the left nerve, the right nerve, Pingala Nadi, the Shashamani Nadi is the chief or medium nerve, situated in the hollow of the spinal column. Is that what they call a chakra? I wonder. Brahma Danda, the Mount Meru of the human body, man being regarded as the microcosm of the macrocosm. The Ida Nadi to the left and the Pingali Nadi to the right coil around it as the 2 serpents coil around the caduceus, carried by the messenger god Hermes. It is believed that the ancient herald's wand symbolizes the Shoshani, I can't pronounce it now. The Shoshana Nadi and the twinning serpents in the Ida Nadi and the Pagali Nadi. If so, we see again how the eccentric symbol code of the West corresponds to that of the East. So that was that. A lot of going back and forth. So let's see, where was I at on this page now? Having to go back and forth, you lose your place of where you're at and where you're going. Okay, I don't think I was on this page. Why did I have a hold of this page? Maybe it was hold this page. Oh, I shouldn't have closed that. Yeah, that ain't where I'm supposed to be. Hang on one second. Let me get my gears. Here we are. Okay. So I'm on the death process, part 1 still, book 1. And we're going on to the next page, in the next paragraph. And actually, I'm going to take a break for a moment. I think I did a lot. You know, I had to go back and forth. So I'm going to take a break for a moment. Let you look at the pretty sky and the storm that just passed. Thought it was going to be a good storm, but it wasn't. It was pretty quick. And it was really dark over that way. And it just seemed to kind of just go away real fast. So I'm still here. I'm just taking a small little break here. Trying to take in and retain that information, you know. So we know that there's a lot of paths. And they're all called different names, and we'll learn that later. Right now it's just an introduction to see what I got myself into, kind of thing. Now that I know what I got myself into, I know I need to study it and make it a course. So we know that there's different paths, and we got to learn our way through those paths. So we got to get familiar with the names and how to go about doing it. I mean, I think once you may think that you know, but you may not know. You may be an elder and you may not know that you're doing something wrong. You know? I don't know why I just said that. Uh-oh. Something's going wonky there. Hope I don't mess anything up here. Okay. I don't see anything on here that indicates what just happened. It just came up. There was like an error of Hangouts. They said it was disconnecting from it, and I was just wondering what it was. But I think I know. It's probably just YouTube being up, and I have Hangouts, and it's probably connected. Hey, I'm just taking a break. Read a lot there, and I had to go back into the appendix again, and I just wanted to take a break for a moment and set in that information in my brain. My name is Nunya, and welcome to your channel. I created the channel for you and everyone in our community to be able to find what they need within one channel. Hey. So I'm just over here smoking a cigarette, and I didn't want nobody to see me smoking because I'm not supposed to, and I feel bad for smoking on, you know, screen. So just decided to hide it. You know how it goes. And so yeah, this is your channel, and I'm a welcomer in this community. I woke up about 4 weeks ago now, and into this like higher spiritual plane. I kind of just raised out of myself, and I just started going. My spirit just started going, and I was kind of like left behind trying to catch up. So now I'm studying, and I heard that I heard it, and then I started reading it, all this stuff, and it does enlighten you even higher. So I have to welcome people here to this community, because this community is very special on YouTube. It's not like the outside YouTube, where you're trying to help someone by saying something and they climb all over you and they're all negative all the time. You know, you run into it all the time out there. It's prevalent. Very, very prevalent. So whenever I got here, I figured this was the perfect place to set up shop for a welcoming center, since I don't know anything all the way, like the names of certain things and how to do certain things, that until I learn it, I just come and welcome. This is my job, you know, kind of thing. The no just kind of put me here, told me to be here, and so here I am displaying it raw ever since I woke up. And been reading the Tibetan Book of the Dead now, and we're on the trying to think of what part we're on without looking. We were on the prayer of protection, and I don't know what we're going into next here. Guess we'll find out. So I just took a break for a moment so I can smoke this cigarette, and I'm going to continue to do so, if you don't mind. And I'll be right back, but I'll still be talking, you know, because I do talk. I keep talking. I never shut up. You'll get sick of me. So yeah, go up to the channels of this channel if you're not wanting to hear this, and if you're interested in something else, you know, if something else fancies your boat, you know, there's lots of channels up there, man, that people out there that are willing to help, you know, more than excited to help. They're excited about this, and you can correct people in their bad attitudes without getting jumped on, you know. You can do what you need to do in life to become that person you need to be. On that, I'm going to take a drag. Hello. Sorry. But you know, too weak to leave the device right now. It'll come in due time. And I may as well show it raw and not be embarrassed about it, right? I know, I'm killing myself with it. Oh. It just relaxes me, what can I say? Well, I hope you're enjoying watching me. You're an observer. I'm used to that now. It used to kind of creep me out. Now I'm getting really used to it now. Like even within the past day. It's kind of weird. All this is weird to me. But yet not, because I'm the big weirdo I was told a long time ago. By everyone. Got a kid playing over here. It's always nice to hear children's voices. So I've been spreading this to my children here, and a lot of them know. They know big time. They know big time. Coloring, they know that that's meditation, a form of it. They're really close to it, man. It amazes me as how close they are to it. Because I'll have questions for them, you know. I want to know. I want to know, man. That stuff is cool. Think about it. They know more than you do about it. Dude, ask them. Ask them about it. They might know something that you don't, that you're forgetting about, that, you know, they'd be quick for you to find out. Plus, too, it just gives me a rise to see that they have a chance in it, you know, because they're so young, and they may be part of the virus that they're going to be spraying up in the sky pretty soon, and that'll take away their essence, and that'll be that for them for a while, you know, and they'll be gone for a while. And that's why I make these videos, is so I can leave it for them, and hopefully they have a computer. And I am planning on writing it down too, and laminating it, and, you know, putting all these things away to be found somewhere, you know. I don't know where. I guess I'll know whenever the time comes. Oh, I heard something. I thought it was a frequency for a second, but it's just a vacuum, it sounds like. I was thinking that's different. It's nicer up here than it is in that garage. I think it's a power line back there. It's pretty loud. And as you see, there's no power lines right here. I'm not sitting underneath it, so. I seen a UFO out here one time. I don't think it was like spaceshipy. I think that it was the government. And probably spaceshipy, you know, ideas off of, you know, the knowers, the people who know. Because people can do remote viewing, you know. Like, I went to a remote viewing session. It was Max Vision's RVT. He's up in the channel if you like that stuff. He does remote viewing, and I went there, but I realized throughout the way that I should just be observing right now, everything, all those powers, because until I get that gap closed from whenever I transitioned, and I'll know whenever it closes, I think, until I get there, you know, I don't think I should be doing that stuff, because you don't know how, you don't know what you're getting yourself into, you know. And I know what I'm getting myself into with the hands, and in that, you know, with the healing. So I'm starting out with that first. I'm going with what I know first, what I lived in this lifetime first, and then going for the past lifetimes. And I've already opened up to the past life with Anya, you know, coming to the channel. I know her from another past life, and the feeling was so strong that I believe that we either journeyed it together, but I think it was more than that. I think we journeyed it together, like in real people, you know, not internet, just like real, you know what I mean? And that woke me up to like this further opening of the past lives thing, which I didn't know if it really existed or not, because I never experienced it. But I was interested in it. I always was interested in past lives and what you got to come back and relearn, like with nature, and, you know, like if you're a hunter and if you hunt for sport, or if you hunt because you have to eat, you know. And if you have to eat, then you eat the whole. You don't waste. And if you sport, you know, just to say, look at my head here, and you waste the body and you don't eat the heart, then you may have to come back and relive that deer, you know, because there's just something to be learned there, and you're doing things the wrong way. And the negative will implode on you, so it won't be no more whenever you have to return and do it again to relearn it, you know. And a lot of people are saying that this is this is the end of this life here, the age of the ages. But really, it's going to repeat. These people are going to have to repeat. The people, all these people in government that are doing the wrong things are going to have to repeat it, whether it be on a different plane. You know, it could be another Earth. You know, like Caprica, Battlestar Galactica kind of thing. So yeah, I don't know. Just thoughts. They resonate, you know. Deep thought, this is. Tell you what. I'm glad I came out here. I was in the garage, and then my hubby needed to use it so he could work out. And so whenever my phone went wonky on me again, I just decided, well, I'll set up out here, you know. It's nice and cool, and you got the clouds and the storm, the fresh air, and the meditation that I need to be able to consume this. Excuse me, I do that quite often, but that's the real me, and I can't just leave. And there is no time once it gets there, you know, it's there. I have a gastrointestinal problem, so I do apologize. I do try to walk away from people whenever I do that, but I'm here and I'm welcoming, and this is real, this is raw, you know, take it like it is, I guess. I can't change me, nor do I want to, unless it's for the better. Okay, that was a good break. Good learning, and good absorbing, and good talking about it. And thank you for listening. I feel your vibe, by the way, and I like it. You must be Joe. Feels like Joe. Or Johan. I don't know. I have my mind on the book. I gotta keep it on the book and stop with the empathetic stuff, because I gotta close that off. Because this is deep, man. This is deep. This is deep. This is deep. And Buddhahood. I love that. Buddhahood. Buddhahood. I'm gonna have to make up a song about the Buddhahood, man. That sounds awesome. The Buddhahood. Fuck yeah. Yep. I'm gonna do it. I don't sing. I don't do anything. So this is gonna be interesting. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make up a song about the Buddhahood. I'm gonna write it down, and maybe somebody will hear the words and make up the music to it. Maybe you're musical. Maybe you can help me. Or musically inclined. Maybe you are of the celestial. What was that called? Oh. I just learned about that. Where is it at? Where'd you go? Peanut butter jelly. Where you at? Where'd you go? Peanut butter jelly time. Where you at? Where'd you go? I don't know the rest. Peanut butter jelly. Peanut butter jelly with a baseball bat. Alright, let's see. Where am I at? What was I looking up? I done forgot. Oh darn. I was busy thinking about that song. Oh well, we'll move forward. Oh, it was the celestial beings. That's okay though. I know what it was. You can go back and you can watch if you're interested in it. Because I know I will be, just to relearn it and get familiar with it before I start studying it, you know. And I will be making a syllabus out of this and going through the veins of it, by the way. Just in case I didn't say, because sometimes I don't know what I say in each video, you know, because they're running together, because I'm trying to push through this and read it in one night kind of thing. Where am I at? Okay. Then the manner of the application, and this is still within the death process of the Bardo of the Dying in the book, Tibetan Book of the Dead. Then the manner of the application of the instructions is, when the breathing is about to cease, it is best if the transference hath been applied efficiently. If the application hath been inefficient, then address the deceased thus: unnobly born, so and so by name, the time hath now come for thee to seek the path in reality. Thy breathing is about to cease. Thy Guru has set thee face to face before with the clear light. And now thou art about to experience it in its reality in the Bardo state, wherein all things are like the void and cloudless sky, and the naked, spotless intellect is like unto a transparent vacuum without circumference or center. At this moment, know thou thyself, and abide in that state. I too, at this time, am setting thee face to face. So I'm going to read that over again, because it's important that it be read over again. Probably even 7 times, I would imagine. But we're not going to do that. I'll do that on my own time, because I done did one, and that was an important one. I felt it was important that everyone heard that one. And it was very emotional and very powerful. Made me cry, made me snot, everything that you can imagine that you feel inside whenever you're empathetic. Okay. O nobly born. Kyle Bailey. TV is live if you're interested in hanging with Kylie Bay TV. O nobly born, so and so by name, the time hath now come for thee to seek the path in reality. Thy breathing is about to cease. Thy Guru has set thee face to face before with the clear light. And now thou art about to experience it in its reality in the Bardo state, wherein all things are like the void and cloudless sky, and the naked, spotless intellect is like unto a transparent vacuum without circumference or center. At this moment, know thyself and abide in that state. I too, at this time, am setting me face to face. Having read this, repeat it many times in the ear of the person dying, even before the expiration hath ceased, so as to impress it on the mind of the dying one. If the expiration is about to if the expiration is about to cease, turn the dying one over on the right side, which posture is called the lying posture of the lion. The throbbing of the the throbbing of the arteries on the right and left side of the throat is to be pressed. Whoa. I did this to my dad. Because I was thinking, why am I putting my hand like this? And my hand on his heart. Because I wanted to direct, that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to slow down his heart. And whenever I did his pulse, I did it like this. Like kind of like I was choking him out. But I was just feeling his pulse. And putting my hand on his pulse. Wow. See how you know? And I didn't know. I didn't read this. I don't know anything about this. This is my first time reading it. This part anyway. The last part I read before in the last video. But I always like to reread because if you stop somewhere and if you reread it, then it retains better and then you know where you were at. So you can proceed further in and you don't get confused in what you're getting ready, the new stuff that you're getting ready to read. At least that's how I handle my stuff. So I didn't even read this before, but yeah, I never knew that, and that's pretty darn cool that I knew that, because that was a very trying time, and I was really trying my best to save his life and to help him with his pain. And I wanted to save his life. It was there in me to save his life, but I couldn't decide that, and I knew that, but I wanted to help with anything I could with the pain, or guidance or whatever he needed, because he was my stepdad. He came in, he wasn't even my real dad, and of course I'm going to spend 3 months with him in the hospital and make sure that he's taken care of to his fullest, to my fullest, to what he wants, because that's what he wants, not what I want. That's what he was setting me for all my life, was the compassion in that. Alright, I better not go on with that because I'll start crying. So, if a person dying is disposed to sleep, or if the sleeping state advances to, let me reread. If the person dying is disposed to sleep, or if the sleeping state advances, that should be arrested, and the arteries pressed gently but firm. Thereby the vital forces, thereby the vital force will be not. Chopping that one up. Let me just start a paragraph over. It's short. If the person dying is disposed to sleep, or if the sleeping state advances, that should be arrested, and the arteries pressed gently but firmly. Thereby the vital force will not be able to return from the median nerve, and will be sure to pass out. Is that thing that, I was watching that TV show, Malcolm in the Middle, and that little cute girl that he had a girlfriend with, remember? She took his brother Reese, and Reese was being addicted to her, And she handled herself because he was getting, you know, a little bit antsy, and she just kind of like put him in his place and touched her hair, and he went, oh, he fell, man. That was funnier than that. Oh, dude. That's what that is. That's cool. To pass out through the Brahmatic aperture. Let me reread that. Thereby, the vital force will not be able to return from the median nerve, and will be sure to pass out through the Brahmanic aperture. Know the real setting face to face is to be applied. At this moment, the first glimpsing of the bardo of the clear light of reality, which is the infallible mind of the Dharma Kaya, is experienced by all sentient beings. The interval between the cessation of the expiration and the cessation of the inspiration is the time during which the vital force remaineth in the median nerve. Let me reread. At this moment, the first glimpsing of the bardo of the clear light of reality, which is the infallible mind of the Dharma Kaya, is experienced by all sentient beings. The interval between the cessation of the expiration and the cessation of the inspiration is the time during which the vital force remaineth in the median nerve. The common people call this the state wherein the consciousness principle hath fainted away. The duration of this state is certain. It dependeth upon the constitution, good or bad, and the state of the nerves and vital force. In those who have had even a little practical experience of the firm, tranquil state of dhyana, and in those who have sound nerves, this state continueth for a long time. The common people call this the state wherein the consciousness principle hath fainted away. The duration of the state is uncertain. It deepeneth upon the constitution, good or bad, and the state of the nerves and vital force. And those who have had even a little practical experience of the firm, tranquil state of dhyana, and in those who have sound nerves, this state continueth for a long time. I'm going to stop there, take a small break, and turn on this light so I can see better, and maybe even get another light if that doesn't work. So I will be right back. that is pretty, isn't it? Those clouds. They're beautiful. They are just beautiful. I better go turn on that light real quick before I do this. Buddha hood, who has got the Buddha hood? I've got the Buddha hood, we all got the Buddha hood. Unit, unit, unity, unit, unit, unity. Let's go with the unity. Where you at? Where you at? Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Peanut butter jelly, peanut butter jelly, brotherhood of Perry, butterhood of Perry. Buddha hood of Perry. I'm searching a way for that Buddha hood, for the we all have. Time is forever and nevermore. We can go back in time as the story's told. Someone just littered. They were litter bugs. So let's reflect on what we just read while I'm taking my break here. And I had to sit like this because my table's over this way. And I like that view over there that you have. No. Trying to get that light out of your way. Maybe you do need to be turned this way. No. That ain't gonna work, is it? Put a sleeve there. Find that in there. Yeah, there we go. And there's your view for the evening. It's a beautiful view of the city of St. Louis. Nice view. Yeah. Really good view. Almost looks like the sun there. That little light lamp. Street light, I mean. So just be patient. I'll be right there. You can fast forward it if you want. You don't have to listen to my rant if you don't want to. I I understand. I really do understand. You don't want to see the nut? Whoa! Hello! I'm back. I wish I would have grabbed my water. Let's see if I grabbed it. Ooh, I did. God, I'm such a smart girl. I'm so smart. All right, here we go. Let's see if I can see this. If not, I'm gonna have to go get another light somewhere. Oh yeah, I'm gonna need more light. I'm definitely gonna need more light. It's gonna get darker, and I can barely see it now. So I'm gonna go get that light. I will be right back. I'm just gonna write a note so that way if somebody comes in the chat, then if somebody comes in and watch, they'll see. Ooh, that's bright on you. Let's turn you. No, that's not gonna work out. Maybe if I put it behind here. Down. Like that. And down like that. There we go. Good on you, bad on me. Let me turn it. I don't want to burn my eyes out. There we go, I think. And I keep turning it until I get it on the book. From this point. And we'll be right back. I think. Come on, show me it. I'll be right back. Alrighty, sorry about that. Had to go out and come back in again. I had to check on a job. Make sure there's nothing for me, you know. Just making sure. Let me turn that a little bit more. You made it just, no, maybe not. No, just a little bit. Just a little bit. Almost had it. Almost had it. So here we go. You ready? Now, where am I at? I'm asking you if you're ready, and I'm not even ready. Alright, let's find out where we were at. Whenever you forget, you just go back and reread. At this moment, the first glimpsing of the Bardo, of the clear light of reality, which is the infallible mind of the Dharmakaya, is experienced by all ancient or sentient beings. The interval between the cessation of expiration, and the intervals between the cessation of the expiration of the cessation of the inspiration is the time during which the vital force remaineth in the median nerve. That's why I don't remember it, because I don't understand it. Darn. Darn, darn, darn. Not the real setting face to face is to be applied. At this moment, the first glimpsing of the Bardo, of the clear light of reality, which is the infallible mind of the Dharmakaya, is experienced by all sentient beings. The interval between the Good Lord. I have people stepping up, so I think I better stop for a second. Can't tell, can't see the pump. The interval between the sensation of the expiration and the cessation of the inspiration is the time during which the vital force remaineth in the median nerve. I'm waiting for this person to get out of the vehicle so you can see. Sure, get up here. Go over here. Go sit. Go lay. Sit. You good girl. Right there. Right there. Right there. Right there. Sorry, I have my dog out here too. Hey, sugar? What are you doing? Alright. I have to wrap my tiny little brain around this one. The interval between the cessation of the expiration and the cessation of the inspiration is the time during which the vital force remaineth in the median nerve. Yeah, I need to see what this is. Be right back. I thought she was closer than she was. Damn sore there every time. Doing more good at first. Here I'm not live, so watch what you say. Do you want to talk? Hello. I hope you're having a good night. You know I am. Nice peaceful night like this. Look at that. Isn't it beautiful? So pretty. I'm looking at it from your view, what you're looking at. I'm not looking at me, I'm not seeing it like that. I'm just looking at the sky behind me. It's really pretty on screen. It's not as bright blue as it is on screen. It looks really bright blue to me on this live. Like it's lighter than it actually is. It's actually darker in real. Alright, well, anyway, let's get down to it. all the way back just a little bit. Do I have to go all the way back or what? Oh man. This chair isn't right. I gotta fix it. There we go. Yeah, now you're right there, and you can be able to hear me. Ooh, almost dropped it. Almost dropped it. Just trying to get as much of the sky in as I can here. See, I need to block that light. That's what that, yeah. Wait for the siren to go by. I guess I'll munch on something. I'm kind of hungry. Excuse me. Gives me a little bit of protein. And iron. Okay. Need that. Yum, 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 yum. We're kind of stale though. I had them forever. I think since it first started. I haven't even finished the bag. Alright, you ready? Here we go. Let me rinse this out real quick. I'm sorry. The common people call this state wherein the conscious people have fainted away. The duration this state is uncertain. It deepeneth. It dependeth, yeah. The duration of the state is uncertain. It dependeth upon the constitution, good or bad. in the state of the nerves and vital force. And those who have had little, in those who have had even a little practice experiencing I wish people would say something whenever they're walking by. I don't know if they're getting ready to say something just to me in general or if they're going to walk by. Make sure nobody else is coming out here. She can come back. Hang on, she's going to come back. Hang on, baby.
But if you want the garage, go ahead.
Oh boy. All these interruptions. Even my phone's going haywire with messages. Jesus. The common people call this the state wherein the conscious principle hath fainted away. The duration this state is uncertain. It dependeth upon the constitution, good or bad, and the state of the nerves and the vital force. In those who have even a little practical experience in the firm, tranquil state of dhyana, and those who have the sound nerves, this state continueth for a long time. Sorry about that. That's the way it is. So it continues with the bottom piece of this particular section, and it goes off of what it was saying with. And I'm wondering if I should just read it. Yeah, I'm gonna read the whole thing on this page and then that. It was on the previous page, the bottom piece to that. So I'm just going to read this one over and then go to the next one. I think I read. I don't know if I read it or not. When this text first took form, the reckoning of time was apparently yet primitive. Mechanical time keeping appliances being unknown. A similar condition still prevails in many parts of Tibet, where the period of mealtime is frequently mentioned in the old religious books. A period of from 20 minutes to half an hour of duration. And mealtime frequently mentioned the old religious books. A period from 20 minutes to half an hour duration. The dying person should die fully awake and keenly conscious of the process of death. Hence, the presses of the arteries.
Hey, babe.
Hang on.
I got some. I always like to drink flat soda. I poured your mom offered it and I poured it and Sierra Mist. And it would taste all that great to me. You probably like it. I'm gonna waste it if you want to drink it.
I can't hold it. Thank you. See how I don't like waste? He even knows. He brings it out to me. Could have just dumped it. He knows I don't like that. Bring it out to me, I'll do it. Even soda pop. It's soda. I haven't had a soda today, so I've been drinking water all day long, all week long. And I can't even remember where I was at, darn it. So many interruptions. So many. Alright. Where am I at? Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Okay. The dying person should die fully awake and keenly conscious of the process of death, hence, pressing of the arteries. Sorry, I'm having trouble seeing it. So what I was looking at, what am I looking at? Duff, meaning median nerve. Okay, duff meaning median nerve, but lit. Try junction. BS apps. Script English Dictionary. Sorry, it's so little. Puna 1890 gives Duff as the only similar word defined as shaking or moving, with, if applied to our text, may refer to the vocabulary motion of the psychic force traversing the median nerve as its channel. Lama Kaza Dawa Sindap. Duff may also mean throwing away, or throwing out, with reference to the outgoing of the consciousness in the process of death. Atal Bahari Dash, and it's telling me to see 1887 and 215. So 18, we'll see if we're going to read this or not. I don't know. What am I looking for again? What am I looking for? What am I looking for? What am I looking for? 18. I'm over here. Now I'm over here. Come on now. Get the bookmark, put it where it goes. So that you know where you're at. 18. The process of death. Okay, the process of death. Process of death. The death ceremonies. Hang on, I got a mosquito biting my ankle. When the death symptoms, as described in the first section of our text, are completed, the white cloth is thrown over the face of the corpse, and no person then touches the corpse, in order that the culminating process of death, which ends only upon the complete separation of the Bardo body from its earth plane counterpart shall not be interfered with. It is commonly held that normally the process takes from 3½ to 4 days. It takes from 3½ to 4 days, unless assisted by a period called the foe, or extractor of the consciousness principle, and that even if the priest be successful in the extracting, the deceased ordinarily does not wake up to the fact of being separated from the human body until the said period of time has expired. The foe, upon his arrival, takes a seat on the mat or chair at the head of the corpse. He dismisses all laminate, making relatives from the death chamber, and orders its doors and windows to be closed, so as to secure the silence necessary for the right performance of the foe service. This consists of a mystic chant containing directions for the spirit of the deceased to find its way to the western paradise of Mitva, and thus escape its karma permits the undesirable intermediate state. After commanding the spirit to quiet the body and in its attachment to living relatives and goods, and Lama examines the crown of the head of the corpse at the line of the sagittal suture, where the two parietal bones articulate, called the aperture of Brahma Randkra, to determine if the spirit is departed thence as it should have done, and if the scalp is not bald, he pulls out a few of the hairs directly over the aperture. If though ancient or otherwise there is no corpse, the Lama mentally concentrates upon him. If through accident or otherwise there would be no corpse, the Lama mentally concentrates upon the deceased, and visualizing the body of the deceased, imagine it to be present. In calling the spirit of the deceased, performs the ceremony, which usually lasts about 1 hour. Meanwhile, the Tripa and the astrologer Lama has been engaged to cast a death horoscope based upon the moment of death of the deceased, to determine what persons may approach and touch the corpse, the proper method of disposing of the corpse, and the time of manner of the funeral, and the sort of rites to be performed for the benefit of the departed. Then the corpse is tied up in a sitting posture, such the same as in which mummies and skeletons have been found in ancient graves or tombs in various parts of the world, and sometimes called the embryonic posture, symbolic of being born out of his own life into the life beyond death. The corpse so postured is then placed in one of the corners of the death chamber, which has not been assigned to the household daemon. Relatives and friends having been notified of death at the house of the deceased. and there they are fed and lodged until the corpse is disposed of. If doubt exists concerning the complete separation of the consciousness principle or spirit. Okay, if doubt exists concerning the complete separation of the consciousness principle or spirit of the deceased from the body, there is not likely to be any disposal of the corpse until 3½ to 4 days after the time of death. So long as the entertaining of the mourners continues, usually for not less than 2, but more often for 3 days, the spirit of the deceased is offered a part of all food, both solid and liquid, of each meal. This food is placed in a bowl in front of the corpse, and then after the spirit of the deceased has extracted from the food thus offered the subtle, invisible essences, the food is thrown away. After the corpse has been removed from the house for final disposal, a effigy of the deceased is put in the corner of the room which the corpse had occupied, and before this effigy food continues thus to be offered until the 59 days of the bardo have expired, whilst the funeral rites, including the reading of the bardo, are being performed. Just making sure. I'll go ahead and bring you around because you can't see the sky anymore. Where am I at? After the corpse had been removed from the house for final disposal, an effigy of the deceased is put in the corner of the room which the corpse had occupied. And before the effigy food continues thus to be offered until the 49 days of the bardo has expired. Wow. Whilst the funeral rites, including the reading of the bardo Thadal, are being performed in the house of the deceased, or at the place of death, other lamas chant by relays all day and night. The service for assisting the spirit of the deceased is to reach the western paradise of Mitaba. In Tibetan, this service, which the Hifabu also chants, is called Diwan Chai Man Lam. If the family be well-to-do, other service of like nature may be performed at the temple wherein the deceased used to worship by all the monks by all of the monks of the temple assembled. If the family, let me reread that. If the family be well to do, another service of like nature may be performed at the temple wherein the deceased used to worship. May all of the monks of the temple assemble. After the funeral, the lamas who read the Bardo Thal return to the house of death once a week until 49th day of the intermediate state has ended. It is not uncommon, however, for them to intermit one day at the first week and at the end. I'm sorry, let me read that. It is not uncommon, however, for them to intermit one day of the first week and of each of the succeeding periods in order to shorten the service, so that they return after 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 day, respectively, thereby concluding the reading in about 3 weeks. From the first of the 4th day, as the arrangements of the Book 1 of our text suggest, the Chanyid Bardo is to be read and reread, and from the 15th day onward, the Sidpa Bardo. In the poorer families, the rites may cease after the 14th day. The families in better circumstances, it is usual in Sikkim to continue the rites at least until the expiration of the 21-day period, and sometimes during the whole period of the 49 days of the Bardo. On the 5th day of the funeral rites, if the deceased were a man, or wealth, or position, as many as 100 lamas may assist at the funeral of the poor man. Only 1 or 2 lamas are likely to be present. After the 14th day, as a rule, for all alike, only 1 lama is retained to complete the reading. The effigy of the body of the deceased is made by dressing a stool, block of wood, or other suitable object in the clothes of the deceased. And where the face should be bare is inserted a printed paper called the Misha Sprang or Sprangpu, Chengku, called the Shengku, or which the following reproduction of the specimen is typical. Such a silly word, our reproduction made by special permission given to the editor by Dr. L.A. Waddell is from XXI, Gander of Sikkim, edited by H.H. Risley. Okay, that's that picture. And it says, effigy of the dead person, mirror, a conch, lyre, vase of flowers, Holy cake. So there's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh boy. And it's almost 3 hours. So I'm just going to take a small break here. And retain some of that, what I just read. Because I think it's important that I do. Where did my bookmark go? Maybe it's on this other page. No. Must have fallen out. There it is. Why am I back here? Where am I at? Oh, that's why, because I was supposed to read that and go back. God, this is hard. Gotta go back to this now. That was just 18. I did go to 20 because I got interested. I couldn't help it. 87. Oh, and that was the reading of the doll. And I already read that, so. And that went, and the transference hath been effectively employed. There is no need to read the doll. But it is a transference hath not, but effectively employed, then that the doll is to be read correctly and distinctively near the dead body. There is no, if there be no corpse, then the bed or the seat in which the deceased is accustomed to should be occupied. And then they list then summoning the spirit of the deceased, imagine to be present and listening and read. So you gotta imagine them to be there. And that's what I did that night. And 2:15. So I can let go of these pages right here. I have my fingers. I have my fingers. And I can go to 2:15 now and hold this one in my fingers. 2:15. 2:15. There we go. Tantrism. In the vital self. Wait a minute. Am I reading that right? Let me make sure I'm reading what I'm supposed to be reading. Oh yeah, I'm reading about the nerves, so I need to read about the nerves. There we go. Alright, the psychic nerves or channels. There are next mentioned in our text of psychic nerves. Shankarat's works on yoga say that there be 14 principles, nadi, and hundreds of thousands of minor. I think I already read this. I'll go ahead and read it again. Hundreds of thousands of minor nadi in the human body, just as Western psychologists say that there are so many chief nerves and minor nerves, but the nadi of the East and the nerves of the West, although literally the same in the name, are not synonyms. The nadi are invisible channels for the flow of psychic forces whose conducting agents are the vital airs, vayu. Of the 14 principles, Nadi, there are 3 which are of fundamental importance. These are to follow our text. These are to follow our text, the median nerve, Sushumna Nadi, the left nerve, Adinada, and the right nerve, Pingala Nadi. The Sushumna Nadi is the chief or median nerve, situated in the hollow of the spiritual column. Brahmadanda, the Mount Meru of the human body, man being regarded as the microism of the macroism. The idol nadi to the left and the Pingala nadi to the right coil around it as the 2 serpents coil round the caudescent carried by the messenger god Hermes. It is believed that the ancient hero wand symbolizes the Sushumna Nadi, and the twinning serpents, the Adinada and the Pingala Nadi. It is so we see again how the historic symbol code of the West corresponds to that of the East. Okay, now where did I get that from? All right. If the non-distracted, let's go back. Okay, so it's just so deep that you have to go back, and so we'll finish up this page. Actually, I'm going to come back and reread this. No. Okay, at the moment of the first glimpsing of the Bardo of the clear light reality, which the infallible mind of the Dharmakala is experienced by all sentient beings, the interval begins, the cessation of the expiration and the cessation of the inspiration of time, during which the vital force remaineth in the median nerve. The common people call it the state wherein, in the the consciousness principle hath faded away. The duration of the state is uncertain. It dependeth upon the constitution, good or bad, and the state of the nerves, the vital force. If those who have had even a little practical experience of the firm, tranquil state of dhyana, and in those who have a sound nerves, this state continueth for a long time. So down at the bottom it continues with the prelude, which we looked up 1887 and 215, and we read those, so now we can move on to this. If non-distracted, the alertee conscious at this psychological moment, the dying person will realize, through the power conferred by the reading of the Tadal, the importance of holding the vital force of the median nerve till it passes out, thence through the aperture of the Brahma. Let me reread that. If non-distracted and alertly conscious, at this psychological moment the dying person will realize, through the power confirmed by the reading of the Tadal, the importance of holding the vital force in the median nerve till it passes out, thence through the aperture of Brahma. After the expiration has ceased, the vital force, like the inner breath, is thought to remain in the median nerve so long as the heart continues to throb. Namshi Vayana, or preferably Sciences, conscious principle or object knowing principles. Conscious principle or object knowing principle is Namshi. Sometimes it may continue for 7 days, but usually only for 4 or 5 days. The conscious principle, however, save in certain conditions of trance, such as a yogi, for example, can induce, is not necessarily resident in the body, all the while normally it quits the body at the moment called death, holding a subtle magnetic-like relationship with the body until the state referred to in the text comes to an end. Only for adepts in yoga would the departure of the consciousness principle be accomplished without break in the continuity of the stream of consciousness. That is to say, without swoon state referred to. The death process, in the reverse of the birth process, birth being the incarnation, death being the discarnation, the discarnating of the consciousness principle. But in both alike, there is a passing from one state of consciousness into another. And just as a babe must wake up in this world, and learn by experience the nature of this world, so likewise, a person at death must wake up in the Bardo world and become familiar with its own peculiar conditions. The Bardo body form of matter in an invisible or ethereal-like state is an exact duplicate of the human body from which it is separated in the process of death. Retained in the Bardo body are the consciousness principle and the psychic nerve system, the counterpart for the psychic or the Bardo body of the physical nerve system of the human body. Whew, I'm taking a break after that one, jeez. Holy cow. How many pages did I do here? Alright, I'm gonna get off. I'm gonna go get something for dinner. I think I need to eat something solid now. Let's hope I can do that. I always keep trying with that. Take a little bit and I'll try to eat a little bit and keep eating a little, try to eat a little bit more. And hopefully that works out for me. And I'll save my place and I hope you save yours. And I will see you. I'm tired. Look at me. Gosh. Well, 3 hours this time. But I'll be right back. I will be right back. Because I am determined. And I may go in the garage this time and drown out all this noise. That way I don't have to read. That way I can concentrate on the fluency of my words. Like that. That's pretty aggravating. You know. Why do you have to buy something like that? Possessions. Oh well. Not my concern. They do what they do. I do what I do. And you have fun in everything that you do.